So here's the readiness assessment. If you haven't had an opportunity to download it yet, there is a URL there at the bottom, kieferconsulting.entrepages.com/readiness. And you can actually get a editable PDF document there, which has all of these questions that we're going to cover today, plus quite a few more. So if you haven't gotten it yet, feel free to go to that URL and download that readiness assessment. It's we've been working on this for a while, so I mean, this is probably how we started working on a readiness assessment. How long ago?
4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's continued to enhance and improve it. Get feedback from project managers as well as our delivery team to continue to add more questions to it and refine it.
Excellent. And your recommendation to some organizations already have like some type of document like this?
Yep.
I mean, how could they use our readiness assessment?
So the feedback we've received on our readiness assessment is that we've actually, again, we've been using it for about 5 years, enhancing it. We've also presented it to project management chapters and also the state of California. We've also integrated it with the project management framework from the state of California, so we've derived, selected some questions from that documentation as well. The nice thing about using our assessment and variations of it, merge it with the stuff you have, is it allows you to ask the questions that you possibly might be afraid to ask. And this is a really good document because you can refer to this document as your excuse to ask questions that you normally couldn't ask. So the feedback we received from the hundreds of people that have downloaded it is a lot of thank yous. Great. That now I can actually go to the meeting and say, hey, I'm using the Kiefer Readiness Assessment. And this is what Kiefer Consulting would ask if they were here.
Right.
And so it's kind of a foundation for getting the questions out that they may not feel free and comfortable to ask in a normal setting. But of using this, they can use it as a foundation.
Great. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So you want to talk a little bit about this? This is an illustration here about mitigating risk. Yeah.
So ideally, when you start a project, you start out at the top of the bar there and pursue the goal of project success. Ideally, it goes smooth throughout the life of the project. You start at the top of the bar with the expectation of delivering a successful project, and then get all the way to the end of your project and say, yes, we actually achieved everything. But as you know, things happen. Resources get pulled away, just different examples here. Project loses priority within an organization, some fire comes along, budget constraints. So as you look at this curve here, the thing you don't want is to actually have a project failure. You need to talk about some of these things up front, some of these critical things that typically happen in almost every single project. If you have a really short project, you're going to get lucky and maybe none of these things will happen. But most of the time, your projects last 3 to 6 months, maybe a year. Things happen. The goal is to actually still be successful. And the only way you're going to be successful is to talk about some of these complex and potentially challenging problems that occur in your project up front to determine how you're going to mitigate them.
Great.